Good morning, students. Today we will read the chapter The Portrait of a Lady. This chapter is written by Khushwant Singh. So, first we will read about Khushwant Singh. Khushwant Singh, born on August 15, 1915, and died on March 20, 2014. He was an Indian author, lawyer, diplomat, journalist, and politician. His experience in the 1947 partition of India inspired him to write Train to Pakistan in 1956, which was made into film in 1998, which became his most well known novel. Born in Punjab, Khushwant Singh was educated in New Delhi and studied law at St. Stephen's College, Delhi. And then he went to London. There he studied in King's College. After working as a lawyer in Lahore Court for 8 years, he joined the Indian Foreign Service upon the independence of India from British Empire in 1947. He was appointed journalist in the All India Radio in 1951 and then moved to the Department of Mass Communications of UNESCO at Paris in 1956. These last two careers encouraged him to pursue a literary career. As a writer, he was best known for his trenchant secularism, humor, sarcasm, and abiding love of poetry. His comparisons of social and behavior characteristics of Westerners and Indians are laced with acid wit. He served as the editor of several literary and news magazines, as well as two newspapers through the 1970s and 1980s. Between 1980 to 1986, he served as the Member of Parliament in Rajya Sabha, the upper house of the Parliament of India. Khushwant Singh was bestowed with the Padma Bhushan in 1974, but he returned the award in 1984 in protest against Operation Blue Star, in which the Indian Army raided Amritsar. In 2007, he was awarded the Padma Vibhushan, the second highest civilian award in India. Now we will read the theme of the chapter. In the Portrait of a Lady, we have the theme of innocence, friendship, love, connection, kindness, selflessness, respect, and acceptance. It also noticeable that the narrator loves his grandmother very much, and if anything, both have a close and loving friendship. Story of the lesson. The chapter The Portrait of a Lady is the story of the author and his grandmother. The grandmother was an old woman with a wrinkled face. The author had always seen her like this for the past 20 years. She appeared to be so old that he could not imagine her being young and pretty, someone who had a husband. She was short, fat, and slightly bent. The author had seen his grandfather's portrait, an old man with a turban and a long white beard covering his chest. To the author, his grandfather did not seem like a man who could have a wife and children, but someone who could have lots of grandchildren. His grandmother used to move around the house in spotless white, with her one hand resting on her waist and her other hand counting the beads of her rosary. In the initial days, the author and his grandmother had a good relationship. She used to wake him up and get him ready for school. She used to pack the things required by him for the day and walked him to school every day. She used to visit the temple that was attached to the school. She had a routine of reading the scriptures. The author, along with the other children, sat on the veranda singing alphabets and morning prayers. They both used to come back home together with stray dogs roaming around them as his grandmother would carry the stale chapatis to feed them. Soon the parents of the author, who went to the city to settle in, called them. As they reached the city, his relationship with his grandmother took a turn. Though they shared the room, they their bond grew apart. He started going to an English medium school. She no longer accompanied him to his school, and there were no longer stray dogs who roamed around them while walking back home. She, however, used to ask him about his day and what he learned. She did not understand anything, as everything was in other language, which she could not understand. She did not approve of the new syllabus that he was studying because she thought that they did not teach him about God and the scriptures. They saw less of each other. As the days passed, he grew older and soon went to the university. He had his own room, and this made their relationship sour. She stopped talking to everyone and spent her whole day sitting at her spinning wheel, reciting prayers and moving beads of the rosary with one hand. However, she loved feeding sparrows in the veranda at dawn. Breaking bread into pieces and feeding it to the birds was her daily routine. The birds would sit on her legs, her head, some even on the shoulders. Soon the author decided to go abroad for further studies. She came to the railway station to leave him off. She was not sentimental, continuously recited her prayers, her mind lost in the prayers, and she kissed him on the forehead. After 5 years, as he returned home, she was there, came to pick him at the station, and was still the same as she had been 5 years ago. She clasped him with her arms and did not say a word. She still used to feed her sparrows. One day, she did not recite her prayers, but instead collected the women of the neighborhood and got a drum and started singing. The next morning, she was ill with mild fever. The doctor said that there was nothing to worry about, but she was sure that her end was near. She did not want to waste her time talking to anyone in the family anymore, but spend her last hours in reciting her prayers. Laying on the bed, she died, and so her body lay on the bed, lifeless. As they prepared for her funeral, they saw all the sparrows sitting in the veranda around her, mourning her death. Now we will do the meanings of the difficult words. So, first word is wrinkled. It means having lines or folds on the face. Second word is portrait. It means painting or picture. Third word is revolting. It means unpleasant. Fourth word is absurd. It means illogical. Fifth word is undignified. It means disrespectful. Sixth word is fables. It means fictitious stories with a moral teaching. Next word is hobbled. It means walked in an awkward way. Seventh word is stoop. It means bend one's body forward. Next word is locks. It means hair. Next word is scattered. It means disorganized. Next word is untidily. It means not neat. Next word is pugged. It means a face contract into wrinkles. Next word is inaudible. It means unable to be heard. Next word is contentment, a state of happiness and satisfaction. Next word is monotonous. It means dull and boring. Next word is bothered. It means to be concerned. Next word is plastered. It means covered with a layer of plaster. Next word is earthen. It means a made of baked or fired clay. Next word is stale, no longer fresh. Next word is scriptures. It means the sacred writings of a religion. Next word is growling. It means making a low guttural sound in the throat. Next word is scriptures. It means the sacred writings of a religion. Next word is growling. It means making a low guttural sound in the throat. Next word is imprint. It means impression or stamp. Next word is clasped. It means hold tightly. Next word is frivolous. It means not having any serious purpose. Next word is rebuke. It means disapproval of something. Next word is frivolous rebukes. It means light-hearted scoldings. Next word is customary. It means traditional. Next word is crude. It means in a natural state. Next word is cremated. It means dispose or burn a body. Next word is blaze. It means a very large burning fire. Next word is shroud. It means a piece of cloth used to wrap a dead person. Last word is corpse. It means dead body. So I hope that you will go through the chapter. So we will meet soon with the next video. Stay at home, stay healthy.